and good evening. Before I start, I just wanted, I don't know how you would do this, maybe on the Zoom, raise your hand or type in the chat. Either way is fine. But before I start and talk about high-speed rail, I wanted to know how many of you know about high-speed rail already. You can raise hands in the Zoom or you can type in, just say yes or no. No, no. Okay. So I received about 5 no's there. So I'm assuming. So I hope you all will enjoy this presentation because I'm going to really tell you what high-speed rail is, where our project is in California, and what we all can do as engineers. So I'm assuming you all are engineers being part of the Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers. Is that correct? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes, awesome. Awesome. Yeah, and if you all can show your faces, that will make it more interactive. So I know that there is real audience, right? Thank you, Xavier. Thank you, Joshua. It's easy. Okay. So I'm glad and I will start this presentation. It's going to be very informal given the number of audience. It's a very good group. I like this. So, if you want to interrupt me, in the middle, if there is a very important question that you will forget about, great, I won't mind it. Otherwise, also, I think we have about 20 to 25 minutes presentation, not more than that. And then we can get into question and answer as well. And I'm happy to answer all the questions for you. So next slide, please. Uh, so what is California High-Speed Rail? California High-Speed Rail is something that is connecting and transforming California right now as we speak and in the future as you all are going to be the future riders of the high-speed rail. What it will do to California, it will increase the mobility. It was something that was much needed, right? We all know the congestion in our major urban areas like LA and San Francisco. We all know the air qualities issues. We all know the congestion on the airport. So this is the much needed alternative, which will not only improve the air quality in California, it will also improve the mobility. It is bringing a lot of job growth in the California region. And this is something I encourage you all to look at because you are the youngsters who will be the future workforce, who will be the future riders of high-speed rail program. Just a high-level overview of the program, as you see on the map, the blue line shows the phase 1, which is the project that is under construction or under various stages of project development right now. As Jacqueline is showing this with her arrow. The yellow is what we call as phase 2, which will come later, which will eventually connect entire California all the way from Sacramento down to south in San Diego. So that's how the California high-speed rail system will look like. If you talk about what it connects and how many miles of construction, phase 1 right now, the blue line is 520 miles, and then phase 2 will extend further another 300 miles. So total 800 miles of construction in California, connecting all the way from San Francisco to Anaheim in phase 1, and then later to Sacramento, like I said, and San Diego. Next slide. Uh, if you look at the details of it, high-speed rail, what that means to us, it is going to be running around 200 miles per hour. We are designing at 250 miles per hour, but the operating speed will be 200 miles per hour. So right now our cars are at like what, 60, 70, 80 miles per hour. So we are talking about more than double the speed. With about 24 stations all throughout the alignment. The whole alignment, blue and yellow, will have about 24 stations. Next slide, please. So this is a more detailed map. If you're really interested, you can go on our website and read about the high speed rail program. You're welcome to reach out to us. But this is something we recently released, what we call as where high speed rail will go in next 2 years, and we call that as our business plan. This was something that was released last week on February 9th, and the business plan highlights where high speed rail is heading. So one thing which is very interesting to note here, you might have go back to the previous slide, please. Yeah, the blue line here is the Bright Line West, which is the high speed rail, which is being done by someone else. But it will connect to the high speed rail system in California and go to Vegas. So if you're interested in going to Vegas, this is something you should look at as well. But really, 350 miles of electrified high speed rail. So high speed rail will be all electric, no fuel, no diesel, no nothing. No air quality issues. And then we are looking at not only constructing in Central Valley, which is shown in the middle green line, which is 171 miles of construction in this year, 2021, but we are also clearing what we call as environmental permit and project clearance before we can construct it. So the whole system shown by dashed line is something that's going through the environmental clearance process. So we not only need engineers, we also need, and I will talk about this later, we need environmental planners, we need a lot of people to make this project happen. Next slide, please. So as you see, I was talking about the business plan. This is something that High Speed Rail Authority does every 2 years, which we release our plan, how we will move forward, what will be our scope, what will be our schedule, what we will do in next 2 years. And this represents the program, where it will head. It also summarizes the approach we will take. So as you know, any project that begins, a project like this big, uh, we are talking about billions of dollars here. We have to adjust and readjust our approach as we continue to develop and move forward with the program. So this business plan defines what our approach will be as we move forward next 2 years. And there is a public review process. So you all are welcome to actually review this business plan and provide comments. Anyone from the public is welcome to provide comments on this. We just released it, like I said, on February 9th. Because of COVID impacts, this was delayed somewhat. It was supposed to be released last year in 2020. Um, there is a 30-day public review comment, and the final business plan will be released to legislature by April 15th. Next slide, please. Uh, And I want to say, when it comes to California, you all may already know about this, but when it comes to pioneers, right? Pioneering projects, leadership, leading the nation. I mean, high-speed rail is something California is bringing to the nation for first time in the history of United States. So we all are very proud to work on this program, because this is something making history in the United States. This is also something new that we have invested in and we always have been thinking about is sustainability. And California is showing the leadership in sustainability. The high-speed rail program will be built using clean energy solutions. We are investing in that right now. What we are also going to use is, we call as 100% renewable energy. We are also going to recycle all of our concrete, steel, and we have requirements on our projects that will allow the vehicles that are used in construction and during construction to meet certain requirements, so we can meet our sustainability requirements and we can also protect our environment. So really proud about something. I think you all should go and read our sustainability report as well, that was released, I believe, last year in 2020 as well. Next slide. So a little bit about, if you are interested, what's going on in Southern California. That was more of the general program, but you must have heard about, or you all may be using Metrolink, Metro. So we are working with our regional partners here in Southern California on multiple projects. We are also investing money For example, the Link Union Station project, the Rosecrans Marquardt project, multiple other connectivity projects with Metrolink on Tier 4 locomotives, which are the latest technology locomotives that are used for rail projects uh, to make sure that we are headed towards that overall, if you have heard about the term transit-oriented development, not only working on high-speed rail, but working with our local partners as well and local transit agencies as well. So this is just a list of some of the things we are doing here locally in Southern California. Next slide. This also lists some of the project sections. And what we have done is you saw the overall phase one earlier in the first two slides. The phase one is divided into multiple project sections. And when it comes to Southern California region, we have 4 project sections that we are right now working on. You can see the list here. It goes all the way from Bakersfield to Palmdale to Burbank and to Anaheim after going through the Linkas, which is the Union Station in Los Angeles downtown. So we have 4 project section going on. Similarly, I will talk about the project sections in Northern California and Central Valley. We have 3 projects going on in Central Valley. So if you look at it, there are multiple projects going on, and I won't go in the details of this, but they will connect different regions of Southern California through high-speed rail. Next slide. This is something what we call, I mentioned the dashed line that was shown in the map. We are clearing a lot of projects through the first stage of the project, which is the environmental permitting process. You have to get the project environmentally approved. Then only you can start designing it in detail and then go to construction phase. So right now we have 6 project sections that are going through the environmental approval stages, which is called as ROD, which is record of decision. And 4 of them are in Southern California. So as you can see, by end of this year and next year, we will have all or most of our project sections environmentally cleared. And then comes the next phase, which is design and then construction. Next slide.
Do we want to do a quick pause to see if anybody has any questions?
Yeah, I have a question.
Sure.
This is really, really interesting, especially from a renewable energy perspective. How have you been like at the site commissioning for the startup, and how has that been? If you worked on this project so far.
Sorry, Xavier, I didn't get your question. A startup? Did you say commissioning?
Oh yeah. So how has like from the initiative point of beginning this project into where it is now, like how has that journey been for you?
For renewable energy component or for pretty much everything?
In general.
In general, yeah. So I think I will tell you a little bit history. I mean, to plant the seed of we need something like high speed rail in California. It was perhaps, I don't even know. I mean, I was not here, but maybe 15, 20 years back, the seed was planted. But the project really started in, I would say, maybe 2012 in the planning process. And then really 2015 is when it really started marching ahead and we started the construction. And to be honest with you, the journey is tough. It's challenging, but it's very exciting because something like this was never built in the history of United States. So we are learning our lessons, right? We are doing something innovative which was never done. So it has its own challenges, but nonetheless, the project is moving forward. We are constructing 119 miles right now. And like I showed you, we are going through all these project sections, the 8 of them that are listed on the screen, clearing them environmentally. So it's challenging, but it's exciting.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question.
Sure.
My name is Jose Ramos. I'm a computer engineer. I'm a third year at CSULB. I have a question in terms of the biggest challenge, because this is the first high-speed electric rail in the United States. Other countries have already adopted this. What was the biggest challenge for the United States, or more so California, to overcome in order to draft this idea and start moving forward after so long?
Mhm. Yeah, very good question. I would say the biggest challenge, I mean, technologically, yes, it's a big challenge, but I would say the biggest challenge, if I have to name one, is funding. Uh, we have to make sure that we have the money. The technology can come in, we can get engineers. We have a great team of experts, subject matter experts, engineers from all around the world working on this. But if we don't have the funding, if we don't have the support from whether it is the general public or our stakeholders, our partners, the administration, both at the state level and the federal level, this project would not happen. So we were fortunate to have that funding so far. It's not easy, but we are marching forward. But that has been a big challenge to deal with.
Awesome. Thank you for that.
Okay.
So one last thing just to like add. So like the way I'm looking at this is like California will be the first renewable energy state, and then I assume every other state will probably fall within that, right?
Absolutely. If you read this news, Florida, Northwest, which is Seattle to Oregon to Portland, Dallas, Houston, they are all thinking about high-speed rail, but they are in the planning stages versus we are in the construction phase. So, yes, once we prove that this project can be done, entire United States is going to follow it. And having find the solutions to the problems that we are facing right now, hopefully that will serve as a good example for other states to follow.
Hi, I have a question. My name is Vivian. Like you said, that this is fairly new here in California, but I'm sure there have been other companies or corporations that have attempted to tackle this project. So do you guys have any competitors? And if so, how do you guys compete or deal with them?
We don't. Like I said, high-speed rail is the first high-speed rail system in the United States. If you want to look at some others, I want to call it modes of transportation. Yes, we may have competition. Like people are looking at some other technologies. People are looking at the viability of airports and highways. But if I have to tell you, high-speed rail is the most viable, effective alternative to address California's problem. And once we do this, it will address a lot of problems for the entire United States. So I think Jacqueline has brought up a good slide here about the progress in Central Valley, and what you're seeing in the pictures is actual construction. You can see the bridge structures, the tall viaduct. There is an arch bridge there with a nice arch there. So these are all actual pictures from the construction going on right now in the Central Valley, which is Madera to north of Bakersfield. And we call them as construction packages 1, 2, 3, 4. So I believe there is a video on this, right, Jacqueline, sometime later or right now?
I can bring it up at the end after the presentation.
Okay. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. Um, Investing in Northern California. So we talked about Southern California. We saw there is a construction going on in Central Valley. And we have a lot of projects that we are doing, not just the high-speed rail projects, but we are also partnering with other partners, stakeholders, transit agencies in Northern California as well. Caltrain electrification is one of the big projects that high-speed rail is supporting, similar to the Linkus project here in Southern California. We are also doing the environmental process, like I said, for 2 project sections in Northern California. Similar to the Rosecrans Marquardt grade separation projects that's in Southern California, we have San Mateo grade separation project, which is under construction in Northern California. So if any of you live near Santa Fe Springs, Norwalk area here in LA, that's where the Rosecrans Marquardt grade separation project is going to be built very soon. The construction is about to start on that project. That is, if you ask me, the Rosecrans Marquardt grade separation project was identified. That grade separation right now, it is at grade. The 2 roads are crossing. each other, and it is identified as the most dangerous intersection in California. And once we grade separate it, once we build the bridge, and the two roads will not intersect, we will uh, address the issue of the hauling cars and all of that there. So anyway, I mean, there's a lot of investment done in Northern and Southern California, not just for rail projects, but for other projects which will impact our partners as well. Next slide. So engineering of the California high-speed rail system, this is my favorite part, and I assume you all are engineers, so you will enjoy this as well. Um, but when it comes to engineering challenges, you all asked about the challenges, right? This is one of the biggest challenges, specifically if you look at Southern California. We are looking at Palmdale to Burbank project section with 20 to 30 or 40 up to 50 miles of tunnels in the San Gabriel Mountain and in the Tehachapi Mountains. And those tunnels will be 2,000 feet deep below ground surface. So this is a technological feat. We have seismically active areas. We have fault zones, as you all aware. California is a big seismic zone. Uh, Addressing all of those issues while building deep tunnels and tall viaducts is something I call as an engineering, challenge that we all are proud of to achieve one day and build this high-speed rail tunnels and bridges. We are doing a lot of geotechnical work. If you're familiar with geotechnical engineering, drilling borings to find out what the ground consists of. I think maybe 2 or 3 of you I saw are computer science engineers, but when it comes to high-speed rail system, there will be computer science, there will be electronics, there will be electrical, everything will be there, and we will talk about that. So uh, next slide, I can maybe talk a little bit more about engineering here. And I can provide a little bit about myself as well. So I graduated with an bachelor's degree in civil engineering, and then further graduation in structural engineering with a master's. Right now, what I'm doing is I'm designing high-speed rail. So this is the point I wanted to make. Doesn't matter whether you are a chemical engineer, electronics engineer, computer science, mechanical. We need all kind of engineers to build this program. Really, we need all of the engineers. We all work together. We all have our own unique areas of expertise. Growing up, when I was in college, maybe 25 years back, like you guys, I never thought that I will work on a high-speed rail program in United States, which will be the first one in United States. I thought as a civil structural engineer, I might be building, tall buildings or some houses or something like that. So you never know. I think the point I want to make here is don't limit yourself. You never know where you end up and what you might do. There is a lot, and a lot of engineering branches are coming together these days. So I think you all are in the undergraduate program. So as you go out, maybe decide what you want to do the graduation in, or how you want to pursue your career, or which field. I mean, this is something I tell my high schooler as well, that don't limit yourself. You never know where you end up. So next slide, please. These are just some of the pictures. The top one is actually the geotechnical borings I was telling you, very interesting in the San Gabriel Mountain area. We don't have any roads there, and we did some drilling, and we had to use helicopters. So that is a photo of me with some other engineers on top of San Gabriel Mountain, and we had to take a helicopter to go there and drill the borings. Very interesting work. The one on the bottom left is actually a LA Metro project. They are tunneling under LA downtown area. I believe this was the Purple Line project, or I don't remember the exact project name, but really some of these technological challenges will make you proud. I feel proud about what I'm doing, and I really want you to encourage to come on board work for high speed rail if you can. Okay, next slide. Okay, so this is actually our regional director in Southern California, Ladona. She has a very special message for you all, and you will really enjoy it. Go ahead, Jacqueline.
Hello, students, and thank you for giving us the opportunity to speak to your organization today. My name is LaDonna DiCamillo, and I am the Southern California Regional Director for the California High-Speed Rail Authority. In my role, I oversee all Southern California activities for the High-Speed Rail project. I support the team to make policy decisions about the region and connect with stakeholders and local elected officials, our neighboring communities, and anyone interested in learning more about high-speed rail in California. My goal is to engage with various groups in the area to ensure that we are providing updates about our project. I didn't have the opportunity to join you today, but I want to provide some quick tips for your upcoming career fair. First, keep your introduction, also referred to as an elevator pitch, short and sweet. You should be able to speak about your experience and interests concisely. Be prepared and do research for the different companies and organizations participating in the fair that interest you. Background on those organizations will help you ask the right questions and feel more confident when you are speaking with their representatives. And make sure you dress professionally, head to toe, even though it will be a virtual year this year. Best of luck to you. As we move forward with California High-Speed Rail, we look to current students not only as future riders, but as people who will help us plan, build, maintain, and operate the system. We are happy to be talking to you today and hope this sparks some interest in the California High-Speed Rail.
All right. I think Ladona, I wish she was here. Actually, she was supposed to be here with all of us today, but she has another commitment and she could not come. So she was kind enough to give this for you all. Really to the point advice, right? I think it does not matter. I want to add on, I mean, the point she made that doesn't matter whether you are virtual or not. Um, right now it has been almost getting close to an year when we are working all virtually, right, at high speed rail. We are all working from our home, and I will be honest, I mean, this diverse jobs list that is listed here, all of us, all of these people are working from home, and we are able to do it. So uh, I think this is going to change the engineering industry big time. I am seeing the way where some of the things we have learned in this pandemic will stay with us. Like, for example, some level of some percentage of working from home will stay. So when you all reach the industry, when you all become the part of the workforce very soon, in 2, 3, 4, 5 years, um, you will see that change. And again, I want to say that keep your vision and keep your big picture, keep your eyes open and ears open, because when we think in one direction, we don't think about the diversity of the jobs. Like a transportation project like high speed rail actually supports a diverse wave of jobs, a diverse list of people, right? I mean, you can see communications, legislative affairs, legal, finance. We have finance people working on the program. We have legal people, lawyers working on our high speed rail program. IT is another one. We have a big team of information technology, computer science engineers who are supporting on the back end how high speed rail program runs and what we do, the technology we use, environmental services. Next slide. Um, some more construction related jobs. You know, like I said, we need all kind of engineers and planners who plan the project, who design the project. Managers, you know, a lot of people who go do their management degrees are working on the program, managing risk, scope, schedule, budget. We have a whole team of project controls people who all they do is they control the project, right? Whether it is cost or schedule or risk. We have surveyors, estimators who does the cost estimating for us. As we build such a huge program, we also need to buy a lot of right of way, right? Properties that we need to buy where the high speed rail project is going. So we need right of way people, expertise in communications, outreach. I mean, Jacqueline and Rachel are here with me. That's what they do. They reach out to public, they reach out to students like you. They work with us to make sure that the program is being shared with, being discussed with the public and everyone else. And of course, the construction workers, right? Next slide. And then once the high-speed rail is built, we need to operate it, right? So who will run the trains? That's where the electronics and the systems engineering comes in. The electrical engineers come in, or the rail operators comes in. We also need to maintain our infrastructure that we will build, as well as our train sets, right? The locomotives that will be carrying passengers, we need to maintain them. We need to maintain the signals and the dispatching system of the trains. We need to maintain the softwares that go behind the train schedules and all of that's done when the trains are running. So you can see that all the way from planning to design to construction to operations, we need people. We need people like you. We need a smart young engineers like you. We need planners. We need lawyers to make sure that our program is moving forward. We need all kind of people. So hope that will help you give a perspective on how a big transportation project is done and what kind of people are involved in that. Next slide, please. Any questions? I can stop maybe or take a pause right here. Uh, no questions? Are you excited? Are you no questions? Okay, that's good.
This is really interesting. Sorry to cut you off, but this is really interesting. Just seeing like from the phases that you guys been going along since the startup to where it is now and where it's going. I think this is. I mean, I'm gonna be working in oil and gas, so I'm probably pretty sure that I'll be at one day like without a job. But I mean, it's good for the environment. You know, it's always got to think about the future of our kids. So I really like this project, and hopefully, I mean, probably you guys dealt with a lot of flaws and a lot of like holdbacks. But I mean, from is I mean, and then from now, a question that I have is like, what has been your most toughest project or task this far in your career within this project?
In my career,
Yeah, within this project actually.
within this project, yes. I think I would say the constant change. Uh, I think Jacqueline and Rachel would agree to this, but with being, I want to call it like, you know how an infant or a kid learns from their own mistakes, right? They walk, they fall down, and they get up again, and they start walking again. A program like this, where we need to make sure that not only we are building the public trust, right? The public is investing money. We are responsible for the taxpayers' money. So we have a huge responsibility to make sure that we are using that state of California's funds wisely, as well as the funds we receive from federal. So with that responsibility, and the changes that are ongoing as an infant, we are learning. There is a constant learning process. Like we make mistakes, then we learn from it and we move forward, and that's possible because this was never done. So I really like that. I mean, even though it was challenging, this is something changes every day. um, like, if someone gives you a manual, you can follow the manual. Like you get a new thing from Amazon, and it comes with a manual, and you exactly know how to put it together, right? You follow the directions, do it, follow the manual, and be done. We did not come with the manual. No one gave us the manual, right? So we have to figure it out ourselves, and that's what the engineers do, right? That's what we solve problems. So I think that's been most challenging and most exciting thing, both for me working on high-speed rail program. Like we said one thing today, and we will say something else tomorrow because we figured out that what we said today doesn't work. So I think I want to quote here something I really like. I think it's Thomas Alva Edison, right? Who made the light bulb. He said that, and he failed 10,000 times, right? He could not build the light bulb, or he could not figure it out. But after 10,000 failures, he did. And I really like that. He said that I have not failed. I have found 10,000 ways that doesn't work. So I think that's what we do at High Speed Rail. All right. Okay, next slide. I think Jacqueline is going to tell you about this interesting I Will Write program. I will invite her because she is the brainchild.
Thanks, Nupur. Yeah, so I just wanted to share with you all this statewide student outreach initiative that we have at the Authority. It's called the I Will Ride program. It's a student education and outreach program designed to inform, engage, and connect students to the high-speed rail program. And we revamped this program in the midst of the pandemic because we found that virtual platforms could actually be utilized to connect more of a statewide student audience than what we had before. I Will Write originally started as chapters at different universities, but we thought, what's a better way that we can connect students statewide so that they have access to all these different events that we can put on. So throughout the year, we will put on webinars, panels, networking events. We provide project updates, and we try to inform you whenever there's any student opportunities on the project, such as an internship, a fellowship, or an internship or fellowship with one of our main contractors who's working on high-speed rail. Because we know that not only will current students ride high-speed rail, but they're the ones, like Nupur said, that are going to build and maintain the system. So we want to provide opportunities to engage with us as a department and to learn different things about high-speed rail and as it relates to the field that you're studying. And above, you'll see some of the examples of things that we do with the I Will Ride program. I think one of the coolest things that we offer with this program is construction tours. So we can't do those right now, but that's going to be our first priority when we get back into person, is how do we get students out to these structures? And like Nupur said, we have 119 miles in the Central Valley. So we want to get students out there taking pictures. We have some really amazing structures, and I don't think that you see the grandeur, the grandeur of it until you're actually there and in person. I was able to go to construction only once or twice, I believe. And when you're there face to face with it, it's like these structures are really immense and it makes it very real. And so through the I Will Ride program, we'll be able to take students. If you're interested in learning more about the program, I'd say check out hsr.ca.gov/I Will Ride. And I'll also link it in our chat after I'm done talking. So you can take a look at that and see if you want to sign up. It's totally free, no charge, no commitment. And you receive monthly emails about what's going on with the project, and you get email updates and invites to all our events. And all of our events are going to be virtual until public health officials say it's safe to go back into person. And I wanted to show you all a really cool video that we put together to kind of demonstrate what the I Will Ride program is and hopefully spark your interest a little bit more in high-speed rail.
Throughout American history, we hear all these stories about people building big, projects that change the country. And, in my lifetime, you don't really hear about it, the country building things anymore. But then you learn about the high-speed rail project. It's the most expansive infrastructure project in American history.
High-speed rail is really an investment in sustainability. perhaps one of the largest scales. It's a statewide, massive infrastructure project, and students see that and recognize that.
I came and took this job 2 years ago in 2018, and I knew at the time I took it, building this project, getting this project done, is not about me and my generation. It's about the next generation. It starts in the Central Valley, but really it's meaningful all over the state. And that is the ability of the High-Speed Rail Authority to partner with colleges. First in the Central Valley, colleges like Fresno State, Cal State University Bakersfield, or UC Merced, where we can provide pathway opportunities for careers in engineering, in clean technology, and all kinds of other opportunities on moving new technology and transportation.
For me, as an engineering instructor, it's really just an amazing opportunity to be able to expose my students to a project that really demonstrates the ways that their chosen career can shape society and the impact of engineering and technology.
What excited me about the project was you just don't find projects like this in Fresno in your backyard. It's a once in a lifetime type project.
One of the most exciting things I got to do with high-speed rail when I was still back in Fresno was participate in I Will Ride Day.
As a person that's always been excited about this project, seeing it in person was really taking it to that next level. Once you see those, concrete pylons, the viaduct across the San Joaquin River, it becomes so much more real of a project.
I Will Ride is about so much more than just jumping on the train. It's really about opportunity today, for the future, and for all of us. And I'm proud to be a part of this.
I will plan for the future.
I will use renewable energy.
I will support smart, green transportation.
I will support California growing smarter. I will ride.
I will ride.
I will ride.
I will ride.
Hey, you all should say, I will ride. Yeah, that's what I would have done if we were in person, I have done presentations prior to COVID, and um, I used to have, I think Jacqueline and Rachel might remember, we used to have those I will write sign and we will all hold it together and take pictures. But unfortunately, we are all virtual right now. So that was awesome, Jacqueline.
So yeah, if you want to learn more about the program, you can check our website out and I'll link it below. And we also have social media channels, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. I will brag on all of our social media accounts. They're really good. We update them daily, and that's where you're going to find some of the most up-to-date pictures about what's going on in the Valley and then statewide as well. And that's all I have for you today. So